All right, Bethany, we're ready when you are.
We are ready to go.
Okay. All right, I'd like to call to order the July 14th, 2026 Forest Grove School District Board of Directors special session at 8:34 a.m. We'll start with roll call of directors present. Alma Lozano.
Here.
Risa Franco.
Here.
Christy Kotke is here. Linda Harrington.
Here.
And Pete Truax.
Here.
And I'm looking for approval of today's agenda.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, and we're going to move on to consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of routine, non-controversial items that are acted upon under a single motion. Are there any items the school board or superintendent wish to discuss separately? Seeing none.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, and we're going to move on to action items. Number 1, Oak Grove Academy at Tom McCall Upper Elementary HVAC unit and controls with Dr. West.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually really excited to bring this forward to the board. We are completing our remaining HVAC related bond projects. The Tom McCall Oak Grove Academy program is one of the last facilities that does not have HVAC available. And as we've seen with our rising heat during our summers, this is critical to the well-being of our students and our staff. So as part of this work, the district is going to install an air conditioning unit for the Oak Grove Academy spaces at Tom McCall Upper Elementary. The project will utilize Train and Omnia Cooperative Purchasing Program for the procurement of the unit and controls. The attached proposal includes the equipment, engineering, and installation associated with this project. This project will be completed during the summer of 2026. The Train quote is for $372,186.
Questions? All right, I'll look for a motion.
I move to approve the purchase agreement with Train for the amount of $372,186 utilizing bond funds.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. And second action item is election of board chair. In accordance with board policy and the board's organizational meeting, the board will elect a chair to serve for the 26-27 school year. The chair is responsible for presiding over board meetings, facilitating the work of the board, and performing the duties assigned by law and board policy. As the presiding chair, I will open the floor for nominations.
Nobody wants a job.
Well, I mean, I'm happy to nominate.
I'm nominate Director Lozano for board chair for the 26-27 school year.
I will second. Discussion?
Uh,
Well, I'm gonna have a little tiny discussion. I would like to hear from Director Lozano, your thoughts about that nomination, and I do have a couple comments as well, but I'd like to hear from you first.
Well, I feel flattered. Thank you. Also, I have a big shoes to fill, Christy. You do a lot for the board, a lot. So as a chair, I think I have a lot of, I'm happy to move forward. I think if I probably will need just a little bit more assistance in navigating being a, new chair. Not only that, but just finding the time management for making all of this happen. So really needing the team there for us to be able to make it happen and for everyone.
Okay, I would like to add that I think one thing I've really appreciated about this entire board is the way we've really, especially this particular year, been able to work as a team and coordinate and talk about the roles and also all of the work that I think we all do. And I've mentioned before, some of the things that I do around legislative advocacy work or my other crazy ideas are not because it's the chair position in particular, but I also think the history of school boards in general have defined for people what a chair may or may not do. And what I've really liked about where our board is headed with this conversation is that I think we can define that for ourselves based on capacity of what everybody can do. And Pete's chair just dropped right to the
Yeah.
floor, but so I'm really excited about this. I think Alma, you have amazing, we all have the capability to serve in this position, but I think I'm really appreciative you're willing to step up and do this role and understanding that as a team, we will be there to support in all the ways that we can and that we do.
I appreciate that.
And seeing no other comments, I might go ahead and call for a roll call vote on this one. Okay, all right. Alma Lozano,
Yes.
Brisa Franco,
Yes.
Christy Kotke is a yes, Linda Harrington.
Yes.
And Pete Truax.
Yes,
All right, passes unanimously. Congratulations, Chair Lozano, and I think we are gonna elect a vice chair, and then I am gonna actually hand off the last action item to Director Lozano as the new chair. So the board will elect a vice chair to serve for the 26-27 school year. The vice chair performs the duties of the chair in the chair's absence and carries out other responsibilities as assigned by the board. I will open the floor nominations for vice chair.
I vote Director Truax as vice chairs.
I will second. Without a question mark. Discussion. Discussion. It's the Zoom and the, yeah, I'm just trying to get a feel. Okay. Discussion. Seeing none on Zoom, I will add, I think, again, I think this is a nice way to share the leadership roles. Director Truax is no stranger to being in a leadership role, but one of the roles is the vice chair, as Director Lozano was vice chair. We were both on leadership together. It does allow for a person to be a sounding board and also be in leadership meetings and help with creation of the agenda and just talk together through some other things, although we all do that really well as a board. But Director Truax, could I ask if you feel like you have the capacity to do that and are interested in the vice chair position?
yes, I feel I have the capacity, and yes, I have a desire.
Okay. All right. Seeing no other comments, we'll go for a roll call vote. Alma Lozano,
Yes.
Brisa Franco,
Yes.
Christy Kotke is a yes, Linda Harrington.
Yes.
And Pete Truax.
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. Oh, all right. All right, motion passes and congratulations, Chair and Vice Chair Truax. And with that, I am gonna turn the last action item over to Chair Lozano.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. Okay, so in accordance with the board's organization's meeting procedure, the board will discuss and assign directors to the board standing committees for the 2026-2027 school year. Standing committees provide opportunities for board members to engage in focus work, collaborate with staff, and make recommendations to the full board on matters within each committed areas of responsibility. The board will consider appointments for the following standing committees. Policy committees, Financial Oversight Committee, Recreation Liaison Legislative Advocacy Committee, which is something that was newly established. And I would like to add an additional committee, which is Budget Committee Interview Panel.
I think for the sake, I think because some of us are on Zoom and some here, could we talk for a minute about who is currently on the committees and then who we are assigning to those committees? I know the Budget Committee Interview Panel, Brisa, let's start with that one because that seems new, but Brisa, you were on that with Kate. Can you talk about that experience briefly and if you're willing to serve on that again?
I was on the policy committee, not the interview panel committee.
Did you not, with Kate when, oh, was it Director Lozano, was that you with Kate, that you had to interview for the new, okay.
Yes, it was me.
Okay. My apologies. Do you want to
No.
talk about that briefly and?
Yeah, no, I think it was really, it was great to be able to have that chance and opportunity to have that interview, kind of get to know everyone that, you know, came forward. So it was a good experience. It was brand new. I think there's definitely things that we could adjust here and there. But I thought it was pretty nice, pretty simple.
What was the time commitment for you? I think we had a couple people
We-
up.
Yeah, I believe it was, if I remember correctly, it was 2 days and it was maybe like 30 minutes each or so.
Okay,
Yeah, it was just a few questions that we asked, and they were all the same standard questions to everybody. And we didn't stir from any, you know, of those questions. Everybody received the same.
okay. I would be willing to fill a space on that. I believe then we would have two, or an open space. Director Chair Lozano, are you interested in serving on that still?
Yeah, I can still do that.
Would you?
Sure, I can do it.
So why don't, I mean, do you want to do it?
Why don't
Well,
you and Linda do it, Christy?
If there's
Oh,
an
that's fine. I
empty
mean-
that needs filled, but I'm kind of, but I've done a lot of interviews, so, yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, Alma, if you wanted to stay on there and have Linda, that's fine with me as well. But I know that's, again, we're trying to, and this is where I think with this conversation, we're trying to figure out capacity and time and making sure that we're not having one person do too many things. So,
Yeah, why don't you and Linda go for it?
okay, okay. And then just for my sake, but for everybody's sake, can we clarify the other positions? Policy, Brisa.
Yes, I was on that with Kate.
So we'll need a person. I think Linda was listed. Okay, so Brisa and Linda. Financial oversight. Actually, Bethany, do you have those names in front of you for all the committees?
I was on that one, and I believe Linda was assigned to if she wishes.
Okay. That's three.
That's for,
That's a
that's
lot.
3 for Linda, so I'm
Well,
thinking we're throwing her into the deep end.
I know, and
pool.
policies quite a bit.
A policy, and then, you know, the recreation is in my wheelhouse too, but I think that's somebody else's role.
Well, I'm gonna have Pete talk about that.
So let's hold on that financial oversight for a second.
Okay,
Maybe somebody else is more, just, I would say, put me where you want. I am retired now, so hey.
let's hold on that. Pete, can you talk about the rec one and what the,
Yeah, I would like to, but unfortunately, they meet at 7:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock, 7:30, some ungodly time like that, and my heart hasn't even started. And I was a little bit irritated at the dismissive way they sort of treat the school district. That I don't know if it was personal, if they were snarky with me because I was replacing Brad and they assumed that Brad was going to continue on. And I missed more than I made, so. And I wasn't on the email list, or if I was on the email list, I never got the email, so I would look at the calendar and say, oh, we had a meeting this morning at 7:30 and it's now 9 o'clock. Nobody bothered. So I'm a little bit at, they probably could use somebody else.
Okay.
I would be happy to take
Yeah.
that role. And you could do the financial oversight.
Oh, yeah, I just, yeah, love dollars and cents, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then legislative advocacy, I mean, obviously, I want to do that one, but that, again, I think that's kind of a board thing where as we kind of shift and maybe talk more at the retreat about what that could look like, that's what I'm interested in, is really seeing, do we even need this committee? What could it be that's different than what we have or what we're doing? But I would be happy to start that conversation at the retreat.
I support that because we're coming into what I consider to be a watershed year, or part of the watershed era of how things are gonna change educational wise in the state of Oregon. And it's not only financial, it's as far as what direction we're gonna take in the overall education of our students. So I think it's imperative that we be in the meeting, because we're not in the meeting, we're on the menu, and I don't want that to happen. And I would like to be a part of that.
And I guess a procedural question, because I know on council, if a subcommittee is officially taken action on, it can be three. It can be three without being in quorum then, as long as you've officially, that's essentially how subcommittees worked at city, right? You give permission for that subcommittee to do work, and the work is to advise the board. So then they can meet outside
Yeah.
of the group.
They can, if a subcommittee that is a quorum intends to take action on anything, it must be a public meeting.
Is making a recommendation to the council writ large taken action?
No, if you bring it back to the school board to take action, then it does not, then the subcommittee can have their conversations, do their learning, formulate recommendation, and then bring that back to the school board for action. That would be okay.
And that's how I view this operating.
Well, and I bring this up because I'm interested in the idea of adding a person like a Director Franco, for instance, to this committee. Again, talking about capacity, but the conversations she and I have quite a bit, as we all do, about engagement, but really with her lens on the legal pieces and the policy pieces. And eventually, if this committee is officially recognized by this board, it maybe gives us a voice with others outside of the community that I think could look very impactful. And I think, no offense to Pete and I, more so me, people hear plenty from me. And so me on a committee about I don't know, I think it would be interesting to think about if we had a committee of three like that, and then at the retreat, we could think about what that could look like. But I'm just putting it out here because this is the time we have to talk about all of this. Director Franco, do you have thoughts? I just dropped this right now on you, but
I love the policy committee. It is my happy place. I am fairly interested in the legislative advocacy committee, just to see what that means for us. And like Director Truax said, there's a lot of changes happening in the state of Oregon regarding education, and we need to stay on top of it. And so I am more than happy to serve on that committee and any other committee if anyone feels like they can't take it or they don't have the capacity. I have a little more capacity this upcoming year because I am a part-time student, both semesters. So I feel like I can take on a little more. And so I am happy to see where this committee goes and what we can do, and offer my insight however I can and be a voice.
thank you. Those were all the things I had to put on the table. Any other thoughts? I mean, I think we talked about a lot of this then moving forward at the retreat, having these, breaking these committees down and really talking as a board, but. Okay.
So to can I, it's not my vote to take, but you did ask Bethany to share who's on which committees currently. And for example, I know Alma is serving on a couple committees, but I haven't heard her name mentioned anywhere yet. So Bethany, do you have that information?
Yes, I have been keeping track as the board has been talking. Right now, we have policy committee with Director Franco and Director Harrington. Financial oversight committee, we have Chair Lozano and Director Truex, or Vice Chair Truex. For the recreation liaison position, we have Director Harrington. Legislative advocacy, we currently have presiding chair, so Director Kotke and Vice Chair Truex. And in the budget committee interview panel, we have Director Kotke and Director Harrington. So that is what has been mentioned so far today. And I understand that with the legislative advocacy, there is talk about potentially having Director Franco. I do believe that we should just get clarification on that before we have a three-party committee, just to make sure that those meetings would not need to be held in public. And I can work on that, and then we can bring that back the board here shortly.
So are we making the appointments right now?
I guess I would then say I move to appoint the following directors just named by Bethany Manguson to the board standing committees for the 2026-27 school year. Brisa Franco and Linda Harrington to the policy committee. Alma Lozano and Pete Truax to the financial oversight committee. Linda Harrington to the recreation liaison position. Right now, Christy Kotke and Linda Harrington to the budget committee interview panel. But to establish, I think we should establish the legislative policy committee members to be named at the retreat. Can that all be under a motion? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Discussion? Oh, sorry.
Gee, Louise.
Honestly, I was
doing it. All right. Everybody settle down.
I was
Sorry.
staring at you, Christy, waiting for you to say it too. It's
That was my
not
motion.
alone.
That's the motion. Okay.
So motion passes. I don't have anything else telling me here what to say. So
We have to vote.
Well, so there's been a second, so you open it up for discussion.
okay, any discussion? I see none.
I am looking forward with bated breath to working on the financial committee. Gee, Louise. Sarcasm dripping from his lips. No, I'll be glad to do it.
Thank you.
And then you move to vote if there's no further discussion.
So I see no further discussion. Let's move to vote. Is there a specific order? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Director Franco?
Yes.
Director Kotke?
Yes.
Director Harrington?
Yes.
Director Truax?
Yes.
And yourself?
And myself, yes. You
And
guys
then
are
you
gonna have to be
close-
patient.
You can officially close the meeting, Alma. Yeah, there'll be notes next time and it's easier.
Okay, so meeting adjourns at 8:58 a.m.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.